take a look at how to determine a speed limit. Imagine a path in the outback. Imagine that it's 1,000 years before any government will touch this land. It's a path formed by migrating animals. It's 1,000 miles from the nearest humans. What is the speed limit on this path? How fast is too fast? Can there be a speed limit without an authority to make and enforce the law? Hey zebra, how fast is too fast? Zebras. Objective means real regardless of perception. It would be true even if every living person thinks otherwise. So, for example, whether or not there is or is not a teapot orbiting the sun between the Earth and Mars is not determined by popular opinion. It is determined only by the existence or non-existence of such a teapot. Likewise, objective morals determine right and wrong absolutely. Popular opinion has no influence on the rightness or wrongness of anything. Objective morals are moral laws, not our feelings about morality. So consider again the speed limit. Speed limit, is it by popular demand or opinion? If no one sees the speed limit sign, does it still exist? Is there still a speed limit? If nobody likes the speed limit, does that change what the limit is or get rid of it entirely? If everybody speeds, does that make the limit any different than it's been posted? Or again, get rid of the speed limit entirely? If everybody speeds, does that make your speeding ticket unjust? Are you innocent of breaking that law if other people break it too? Here's an example, the Nazis. If the Nazis had won the war and killed everyone else on Earth so that every living person on Earth thought that the Holocaust was a good thing, the murder of the Jews would still be evil. Slavery. If the South had won the Civil War and every person in America accepted slavery as good and proper, including the slaves, it would still be evil. Objective morals exist. While people fight about the application of moral principles, there is universal agreement across time and space that such principles are real and ought to be applied. Murder is wrong. Love is good. Lies are wrong. Truth is good. Cruelty is wrong. Mercy is good. Selfishness is wrong. Kindness is good. Stealing is wrong. Generosity is good. Every culture, every human culture that has ever existed, agrees on these moral principles. Our disagreement is not on whether or not good and evil are real, or even what good and evil are, but really just on how good and evil should be applied, or what is the proper application of moral principles. So the speed limit says you can go this fast, but no faster. It is not an indication of a physical limitation. It doesn't tell you how fast you're capable of going. It tells you how fast you should choose to go. You should choose to go this fast and no faster. What can science tell us about a speed limit? Can you learn the speed limit by studying the chemical composition of the road? Or can you learn it by studying the path that the road takes, or the path's ultimate destination? Can you determine it by asking people how fast they want to drive? Unless an authority figure has set and revealed a speed limit, then one cannot be said to exist. At that point, there's only personal preference. So what's the common link? Well, I think we can agree that the Nazis should not have murdered 6 million Jews. It was evil. Even in modern America, we tend to view racism and genocide as being agreeably, objectively evil. But can we use the reasons why to argue that frogs should not kill flies? According to the Bible, human life is valuable and murder is wrong. But according to atheism, the Nazis had no free will and could not do other than they did. Also, according to atheism, what separates frogs from humans is merely their evolutionary path and nothing more. On atheism, nobody has the ability to choose to do one thing or another, and therefore there's no way to really gauge that they could have or should have done one thing instead of another. Also, on evolution, we have materialism. We have the evolutionary model, which tells us the difference between frogs or flies or Nazis or Jews is merely their evolutionary path. There is nothing in evolution that gives value to one life over another, and natural selection, survival of the fittest, killing the weaker, is just how evolution works. Atheism cannot explain objective morals. If God does not exist, then objective morals cannot exist because objective morals are the moral law, and that requires a lawgiver, just as the speed limit does. If objective morals do exist, then God must exist. Objective morals do exist. The 10 atheist non-commandments show that even atheists know this to be true. Thus, God must and does exist. Even atheists know this, as Paul tells us in Romans.